Jai Hind students, welcome in your history class. The topic which I am going to start today is the romantic imagination and national feeling. Children, there are various ways to create a feeling of nationalism, and not only by conquering other countries or engaging yourself in the war, you can create a feeling of nationalism. There are various ways, just like you can create a feeling of nationalism through folk songs, dances, languages, and many others. So the topic which I'm going to start today is the romantic imagination and national feeling, children. You can see the topic on the screen, the romantic imagination and national feeling. So the development of nationalism did not come about only through wars and territorial expansion. Culture also played an important role in creating the idea of the nation. Art and poetry, stories and music helped express and shape nationalist feelings. So children, to create a feeling of nationalism, it is not necessary that you are going to engage yourself in wars and territorial expansion or by acquiring the countries of others. Romanticism means a cultural movement. So culture also played an important role in creating a feeling of nationalism. It was through art and poetry, stories, music, folk songs, language, etc. children. So the topic which we are studying today is romanticism. So romanticism is nothing else. It is a cultural movement which developed a particular form of nationalist sentiments, and these sentiments are created by poetries, dramas, plays, music, language, etc. children. So the romantic imagination and national feelings means not to create nationalism through wars or by acquiring colonies or by expanding your empire. Romantic nationalism means, romanticism means a cultural movement which also developed a particular form of nationalist sentiments. So romantic artists, they were generally against science and logical thinking. So romanticism means a cultural movement which developed a particular form of nationalist sentiments through art and poetry, stories, music, language, then dramas, etc. children. So it is a cultural movement. Romanticism means a cultural movement which created a feeling of nationalism, which created nationalist sentiments among the people by plays, dramas, poetries, folk songs, dances, etc. And they focus instead on emotions, intuitions and mystical feelings. Means they were discouraging science. They were not interested in science and logical thinking. On the other hand, they were interested in emotions, intuitions and mystical feelings. Mystical means spiritual feelings. So their effort was to create a sense of shared collective heritage, a common cultural past as a basis of a nation. Again, I am telling you children. So the topic which we are studying today is romantic imagination and national feelings. Nationalism could be created by many ways. It is not only through wars or territorial expansion, children. It is also created. It is also culture can also play an important role in creating the idea of the nation by plays, by dramas, by poetries, by music, by folk songs, by language. So romanticism means a cultural movement which developed a particular form of nationalist sentiments through stories, poetries, music, and the romantic artists, they were criticizing reason and science. Means they were against scientific thinking. They were interested and they were supporting mystical feelings, spiritual feelings and intuitions and emotions. By this they were trying to create a feeling of nationalism among the people. You can see seen on a picture on your screen, children, the massacre at Kiosk. Eugène Delacroix, 1824. He's a French painter. The French painter Delacroix was one of the most important French romantic painters. This huge painting depicts an incident in which 20,000 Greeks were said to have been killed by Turks on the island of Chios by dramatizing the incident, focusing on the suffering of women and children, and using vivid colors. Delacroix sought to appeal to the emotions of the spectators and create sympathy for the Greek children. Yesterday only we have studied about the Greek War of Independence, isn't it, children? Yes. So the other romantics, such as the German philosopher Johann Gottfried Herder. So we are talking about romantic artists, romantic painters, and romantic philosophers. So other romantics, such as the German philosopher Johann Gottfried Herder, claimed that true German culture was to be discovered among the common people. So common people, there is a word for common people, and that is known as Das Volk. So do remember that. It can come in one word also. Das Volk means common people. So according to Johann Gottfried, it was through folk songs, folk poetry, and folk dances that the true spirit of the nation was popularized. So collecting and recording these forms of folk culture was essential to the project of nation building. So here, romantic painters, romantic philosophers, they were all trying to develop a feeling of nationalism through paintings, through poems, through songs, through language, and they believed that it was through folk songs, folk poetry, and folk dances that the true spirit of the nation was popularized. So collecting and recording these forms of folk culture was essential to the project of nation building, children. So the emphasis on vernacular languages. Vernacular means regional languages. So they emphasize on vernacular languages, and the collection of local folklore was not just to recover an ancient national spirit, but also to carry the modern nationalist message to large audience who were mostly illiterate. Means the romantic painters, romantic philosophers, romantic writers, they believed that through folk songs, then dances, music, and through vernacular languages, we can create a large audience who were mostly illiterate. We can spread the feeling, we can circulate the feeling of nationalism by folk songs, dances, language, common vernacular language, and paintings. And those who are illiterate, we can send a message, the feeling of nationalism, by these forms, children. So they emphasize on vernacular language and the collection of local folklore. मतलब गाना, डांस, नाच गाना ये देख करके वो लोगों को भी समझ में आ जाएगा जो illiterate हैं. And in this way we can spread our message, our feeling of nationalism. We can connect to a large audience, isn't it, children? So this was especially so in the case of Poland. But before that, let us recall first. So Romanticism means a cultural movement to create a feeling of nationalism through folk songs, dance, art, and poetry. Okay, so romantic artists and poets, they were generally criticizing the glorification of reason and science. They were against scientific thinking. On the other hand, they were interested in mystical feelings, emotions, intuitions. They believe that we have to create a sense of shared collective heritage, a common cultural past as a basis of a nation, and we can create it by through songs, dances, etc. And other romantic artists such as the German philosopher Johann Gottfried, he also claimed that true German culture was to be discovered among the common people, and it was through folk songs, folk poetry, and folk dances, and that is the true spirit of the nation. Okay, so collecting and recording these forms of folk culture were essential to the project of nation building, and the emphasis on vernacular language. They were giving stress on regional languages also, and the collection of local folklore. And they believe that in this way we can connect to a large audience, we can connect to those also who were illiterate, and we can circulate our message, the message of nationalism, by songs, dances, music, etc. So now take the example of Poland. This was especially so in the case of Poland. Poland had been partitioned at the end of the 18th century by the great powers. Russia, Prussia and Austria. So we are talking about the example of Poland, children. So Poland was partition, divide हुआ था at the end of the 18th century. By whom? By Russia, Prussia and Austria. Even though Poland no longer existed as an independent territory, national feelings were kept alive through music and language. Poland को डिवाइड कर दिया था ग्रेट पावर्स ने. किसने किसने? रशिया, प्रशिया एंड ऑस्ट्रिया. पोलैंड एक इंडिपेंडेंट टेरिटरी नहीं रह गया था, लेकिन देन ऑल्सो द पीपल ऑफ पोलैंड दे केप्ट देयर नेशनल फीलिंग्स अलाइव. हाउ? थ्रू म्यूजिक एंड थ्रू लैंग्वेज. सो Karol Kurpinski, for example, he celebrated the national struggle through his operas and musics, turning folk dances like the Polonaise and Mazurka into nationalist symbols. These are folk dances. So language also played an important role in developing nationalist sentiments. Now we are talking about the Poland, isn't it, children? So Poland was divided, partitioned by Russia, Prussia and Austria. So Poland was no longer an independent territory. Then also, children, the people of Poland, they kept their national feelings alive through music and language. How? Language played an important role in developing nationalist sentiments. We are going to discuss that. So after Russian occupation, the Polish language was forced out of schools. Polish language को कहा गया था कि पोलैंड में अब स्कूल्स में नहीं पढ़ाई जाएगी. So language also played an important role in developing nationalist sentiments. So after Russian occupation, the Polish language was forced out of schools and the Russian language was imposed everywhere. Because Russia had captured Poland and now they forced the people of Poland to learn Russian language. Okay. So after Russian occupation, the Polish language, their own language children, was forced out of schools. School से हटा दिया गया उनकी अपनी language and the children were forced to learn which language? Russian language, because Russia has occupied their country. So after Russian occupation, the Polish language was forced out of schools and the Russian language was imposed everywhere. In 1831, an armed rebellion against Russian rule took place, but it was ultimately crushed. But then also people of Poland were trying to free themselves. They were trying to create a feeling of nationalism. In 1831, the people of Poland, they revolted against the Russian rule because they were forcing them to learn Russian language. So they revolted against the Russian rule in 1831. And following this, many members of the clergy, church officials, children, in Poland, they began to use language as a weapon of national resistance. So the clergy, padri log bhi, they were also using their own language, means their own Polish language. They started using their own language, though they were asked not to use their language. Then also they were using their own language as a weapon of national resistance. Means they were, in their own way, they were protesting against the Russian rule. So Polish was used for church gatherings and all religious instructions, even though it was asked by the Russian people not to use. Then also the clergy people were using Polish language and it was used for church gatherings and all religious instruction, because they were not obeying the rule of Russia. So as a result, a large number of priests and bishops were put in jail or they were sent to Siberia by the Russian authorities as punishment for their refusal to preach in Russian language. Means after Russian occupation, the Polish language was forced out of schools. When Poland was captured by Russia, it was divided by three great powers, that was Russia, Austria and Prussia. The portion of Poland which was under Russia, Russian people, they asked them to use Russian language, okay, and they asked them not to use their own language, and that was the Polish language. But By this example, I just want to say that how language played an important role in developing nationalist sentiments. So after Russian occupation, the Polish language was forced out of schools and the Russian language was imposed everywhere. In 1831, an armed rebellion, the people revolted against Russian rule, but it was crushed by the Russians. उन्होंने revolt किया था, though the revolt was crushed by the Russian. Following this, after this revolt was crushed by the Russian people, children, then also many members of the clergy in Poland, they began to use language as a weapon of national resistance. How? They refused to preach in Russian. They refused to preach in Russian language. They were preaching in their own language, and that was the Polish language. So, in 1831, an armed rebellion against Russian rule took place, which was ultimately crushed. Following this, many members of the clergy in Poland, they began to use language as a weapon of national resistance. Polish was used for church gatherings and all religious instruction. As a result, a large number of priests and bishops were put in jail. They were put behind the bars, or they were sent to Siberia by the Russian authorities. It was a punishment given to them by the Russian authorities, children, because they refused to preach in Russian language and were preaching in their own language, and that was the Polish language. So in this way, the use of Polish came to be seen as a symbol of the struggle against Russian dominance. Now this is very important question. Many times this question has come in the board exam, that how Poland, or you can take the example of Poland, how Poland used language as developing nationalist sentiments, or language played an important role in developing nationalist sentiments in Poland. You have to justify. Okay, so you have to write this answer, children. You can see in the box, children, the Grimm brothers, folk tales and nation building. Grimm's fairy tales is a familiar name. The brothers Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm were born in the German city of Hanau in 1785 and 1786, respectively. While both of them studied law, they soon developed an interest in collecting old folk tales. They spent 6 years traveling from village to village, talking to people and writing down fairy tales. Means Grimm brothers, they were traveling from village to village, गांव घूमते थे and talking to people, and उनसे सुन करके वो fairy tales लिखा करते थे, which were handed down through the generations. And these were very popular. The books written by Grimm brothers, these books were very popular both among children and adults. In 1812, they published their first collection of tales. Subsequently, both the brothers became active in liberal politics, especially the movement for freedom of the press. In the meantime, they also published a 33-volume dictionary of the German language. The Grimm brothers also saw French domination as a threat to German culture and believed that the folk tales they had collected were expressions of a pure and authentic German spirit. They considered their projects of collecting folk tales and developing the German language as part of the wider effort to oppose French domination and create a German national identity. So we have studied today about Romanticism. Romanticism is a cultural movement, and this is a cultural movement to create a feeling of nationalism, to create a nationalist sentiments through art and poetry, through stories, through music, through dances, folklore, folk tales, and through languages also, children. Romantic artists, they were against scientific thinking, and they were supporting and they were interested in mystical feelings, spiritual feelings, children, and they focused on emotions, intuitions, and mystical feelings. So many romantics, artists and philosophers such as German philosopher Johann Gottfried Herder, he also claimed that true German culture was to be discovered among the common people, and he has given the word for common people, and that is Das Wo. He said that it was through folk songs, folk poetry, and folk dances that the true spirit of the nation was popularized. So collecting and recording these forms of folk culture was essential to the project of nation building. Then emphasize on vernacular languages also, and the collection of local folklore by the romantic people, by the romantic artists, poets. They were emphasizing on vernacular languages, that national sentiments could be circulated, could be created by vernacular languages also. So the emphasis on vernacular languages and the collection of local folklore, it was not just to recover an ancient national spirit, but also to carry the modern nationalist message to large audience who were mostly illiterate. The romantic artists, philosophers, they believed that to create a nationalist sentiments, we can use folk songs, dramas, folklore, etc. And it will also help to connect to large audiences, especially the people who were illiterate, they could not read and write. They can also, we can, after seeing the dramas, plays, music, hearing music, they can also connect themselves with the nationalist sentiments, and they can nationalist sentiments could be created among those also. So we can take the example of Poland. Poland was partitioned by the great powers Russia, Prussia and Austria at the end of the 18th century. Even though Poland no longer existed as an independent territory, national feelings were kept alive through music and language. Language played an important role in developing nationalist sentiments in Poland. How? After Russian occupation, the Polish language was forced out of schools and the Russian language was imposed everywhere. In 1831, an armed rebellion against Russian rule took place, but this rebellion was crushed by the Russian authorities. Following this, many members of the clergy in Poland, they began using their language as a weapon of national resistance. Polish was used for church gatherings and all religious instructions. Means they were preaching in preaching in Polish language, and they refused to preach in Russian language. As a result, a large number of priests and bishops were put in jail or were sent to Siberia by the Russian authorities as punishment for their refusal to preach in Russian. So the use of Polish, which was the language of Poland children, so the use of Polish came to be seen as a symbol of the struggle against Russian dominance. Clear, children? So I'm going to give some question answers in your WhatsApp group, children, and you have to write those question answers in your fair notebook. Okay? So read the chapter, read the topic, stay home and stay safe.